Hello, welcome to the video diary for Thursday the 18th of July. What have we got for you this time? I've got native Unity plugins, a bit of Box2D stuff, a little bit of unit test stuff, and not a huge amount of visible progress, but I've learnt quite a lot. So the big thing I've been doing is wiring up the contact listener so that when things hit each other in Box2D, I know they're hitting each other, and I can categorize the kind of contact and do things like trigger sound effects or special effects or whatever that is. One of the problems I ran into pretty quick was that the native Box2D plugin I got from the asset store doesn't tell you where the contact happens, because it doesn't expose the world manifold structure that Box2D has. So that was quite annoying. I was thinking it was me, and I was rummaging through the API and trying to figure out how on earth I was going to find the information to know where the contact was happening. Anyhow, it ends up that the plugin that's on there now doesn't give you this. At least if it does, I can't figure it out. So I've had to. So I was then stuck with a situation where I could either write my own plugin that did it, modify the one that I bought, or find some other solution. Change physics engines. I tried Farseer, which is the, let me bring it up. It's the C# implementation of Box2D, and it's on the apps. It's on the thingy store, the asset store, for free. Oh, where is it? Come on. Right, I don't know what's up with the asset store. Anyway, there is a is it on there? Yes, Rage Farseer Unity package. It is on the asset store. It's free. It's got quite good kind of in-editor widgety things and some demos and that kind of gubbins. In fact, let me have a look. Open scene. No, not open scene. Wally, open project. I'm going to have to edit all this out. Open project. Downloads Farseer. Right, tests. Where's the scene? It is in there. Right, so here we are. This is it running now. This is a C# implementation of Box2D with some nice bits, and you can grab all the stuff and wang it around. And it's all very hunky-dory on the desktop. Problem is, when you run that on iOS, it absolutely crawls. It is so many times slower than the native Box2D thing. So I ditched that idea. I thought, well, it's much too slow for my target platform, so naff that off. And that left me with writing my own Box2D one or modifying the one I've got. Writing my own is a reasonably big job, and I don't technically need to do it, so I decided to modify the one we've got. Luckily, the native Box2D plugin comes with the source package, so you can open up Xcode, and you can. This is the Mac build, which is the desktop's going to use. So you basically can see that there's the Box2D library, and these are the little wrapper files the guys put on there, which expose the interface to Unity. So I basically had to add some API to drill down into Box2D, and I did that. These are the ones I added. Some little fixture things and a shape, get radius. I needed these so that I could, the easiest way to do it was just work out the world manifold in C# using the same algorithms that happen inside Box2D, but it was just a quick thing. I needed a couple of bits of information off the bodies, and I've done that, wired it up, and the good news is it works. So I'm getting good contact information back, and tracking constant contact, I know what fixtures and bodies are involved and all the fixture types, blah blah blah. That's all wired into my Box2D manager, so you basically get nice little callbacks there, begin contact and end contact. So from the contact info you can work out what the world manifold is and draw some debug gubbins. And here it is. I'll show you. When it runs, it's got to run not on the right scene, is it? Where's my scenes? There's my scenes. Alright. Bosh. So I've just got this little shape I spawn and there's a contact and move it around. Let's put a few things in. Boom. So there we are. Those are the Box2D contacts coming and going and travelling along with the bodies. And so now I can track the contacts. So now what I need to do is when the fixtures are created, they're going to have a contact type, which basically defines what material they are, and then using that I can decide if it's a constant contact or a one-off hit contact. I know what's hitting what. Is it wood against wood, metal against metal, whatever. I can trigger sound effects, special effects. So I've just got to do that little contact registering thing, that's easy. It's just a bit of code. No unknowns there. And in the side product of all this is I now know how native plugins work. One got you a native plugins. So basically what you do, for those that don't know how native plugins work, let me just collapse a few of these. There's a folder inside your Unity thing called plugins. And in there you'll find libraries or bundles, depends on what platform you're using. So for the desktop on Mac, it's a native Box2D bundle, and that bundle just contains the lib that you want to bind against. What you also do to expose that interface to C#, you need to basically do a load of this stuff, which is a load of interop gubbins that wire up the runtime. Basically just like a linker phase. You're telling the C# linker what to bind against and a C interface. So the only complexity with that really is when you're passing structures to and fro. You've got to use stuff like where is it? Things like this. You've got to use marshalling, and you've got to basically tell C# how the structure is laid out in C. Get all the data types and the number of bytes each thing is, and then C# interop stuff can convert between C pointers and C# structures. And everything's happy and all very lightweight. So it's a little bit fiddly. I'm not a master of this by any stretch, but I know roughly how it works. The big got you with native plugins is that when you rebuild the plugin, as you would do from Xcode, you'd hit build and it would spit out a new DLL or a new bundle, drop it into your Unity scene, and nothing happens. Doesn't update. The only way to get the native plugins to update is to either restart Unity or to re-import all your assets, which is pretty rubbish, but you know, that's what we're stuck with. Restarting Unity doesn't take that long, about 20 seconds I suppose, by the time you quit it and then get your scene back up and test it. And it works alright. If there is a problem and it crashes, it just brings Unity down. You know, it's I think it's quite a low level binding, doesn't have any kind of fail-safe stuff there, so you've got to be careful with that. If Unity starts crashing, then you know you've got something going on, some crash in your native code that you're not catching, some point of badness. So now this native Box2D plugin kind of feels like mine, so I'm going to extend it and fill in some more of the blanks that the API doesn't provide you, and you know, make it work for me now. I'm not going to rely on the guy that wrote it. So that's that done. Contacts. I've been reading a book about test-driven development and just mooching around with it. And I want to put, the upshot is I want to put some unit tests into my code in Unity. And you can do that with UUnit, which is it's somewhere around. Anyway, it's a test harness for doing unit tests and that kind of job. So I'm gonna have a look at that as well. And where am I now? I think that's about it really for this week. I'll carry on, get more contacts in. I think I've got an idea for the graphic style as well, but I'm going to do a little bit of a test with that. Quite pixel arty sort of thing, but hopefully it won't be too tough to do and won't look rubbish. And that's it. Yeah, next time I should hopefully have maybe some 2D particle stuff running around, some more sound effects in there, a few more assets. I'll see you next time.